So now we're gonna start with the Game.js file, and we're gonna go to Visual Studio Code, and we're gonna move into the Game.js file. And okay, so let me see, Game.js. The game state from the Game.js file is where all the magic happens. So right now we're gonna start seeing some changes in our code. Right now is nothing, we have nothing here yet, but all the initialization is in the create function, launched once at the beginning of the game. After that, some functionality will require further code to control. We will write our own functions to handle more complicated tasks. In particularly, take note of the update function executed at every frame, which updates things such as the ball position. Okay, so this is pretty much our Game.js. Okay, so we're gonna have this. The create and update functions are framework specific, while others will be our own creation. So right now we are gonna have okay, it's gonna be ball, let me see, ball that, and it's gonna be the name of the file, in this case game. Okay, so and we are gonna set it to a function. Okay, and we're gonna open curly braces, and we're gonna move to the next one. Okay, so we have ball that game, we have the ball that game, we're setting it to the function. Oops, we need to pass in the game here. And now we're gonna have in the same thing, ball that game, that prototype has to be game that prototype. And in this case we're gonna set it to a function. So let me see, create, and we're gonna set it to this function. So let me double check. Okay, so right now we have the ball that game, that prototype. We're gonna open curly braces, and we're gonna have, this time we're gonna have a bunch of functions, just not create. And then what was the other one? So start again. So it's gonna be, we're gonna have more functions, and again we're gonna start populating these functions here. So okay, let's separate it with a comma. So now we're gonna have init levels. Okay, so it's gonna be init levels. Okay, functions. We're gonna move to the next one. Oops, has to be, okay, so it has to be like that. So we're gonna have this init levels. Now we're gonna have the show level. Okay, it's gonna be show level, and we are gonna pass in level like this. Okay, we're gonna open curly braces, separated with a comma. Then we're gonna have update counter. It's gonna be the update counter like this. Okay, so we separated with a comma, update counter. We're gonna have, okay, yeah, camel notation, update counter. We have manage pause. Okay, so it's gonna be the manage pause. And let me, oops, no, we are not gonna write code just yet. So okay, so we have the manage pause, manage audio. So it's gonna be manage audio. So here we're gonna open curly braces here. We're gonna move to the next one, manage audio. We're gonna have the update. It's gonna be the update function. Okay, so empty set of curly braces for now. Let me see, manage audio, update. Then we're gonna have the wall collision. So it's gonna be the wall collision like this. Okay, so wall collision. And now we're gonna have the handle orientation. So it's gonna be the handle orientation function. Okay, let me see, handle orientation, and we're gonna pass in e. Okay, so, and finally finish level. So it's gonna be the finish level like that. And okay, we're not gonna pass anything. We're gonna put a semicolon at the end of the closing curly brace of the prototype. Okay, so we have that so far. Nothing is taking place yet, but again, it's pretty much the same. We have the bold again. We are setting it to the function. We're passing the game. We have an empty set of curly braces. We have the bold again, that prototype, and we are setting it to this object. And we have a bunch of functions here. So we have the create function. Let me see, create function. We have the init levels function. We have the show label, and we're passing label. Okay, we have the update counter. We have the manage pause. We have the manage audio. We have the update. We have the wall collision, and we have the handle orientation. Then we have the finish level. Okay, so we have that so far. The create and update functions are framework specific, while others will be our own creation. So they're talking about the create function and the update function. Okay, so the create and update functions are framework specific, while others will be our own creations. And again, we have the init levels. Okay, so it's gonna be this one, the init levels function initializes the level data. The show level, okay, the show level, so it's gonna be the next one. Print the level data on the screen. Now the update counter, so it's gonna be this one, update counter. The update counter updates the time spent playing each level and records the total time spent playing the game. We have the manage pause, so this one, the manage pause pauses and resumes the game. We have the manage audio. Okay, the manage audio turns the audio on and off. And finally, the wall collision is executed when the ball hits the walls or other objects. Now we also have the handle orientation. So handle orientation is the function bound to the event responsible for the device orientation API, providing the motion controls when the game is running on a mobile device with appropriate hardware. And finally, the finish level. So this is the final function that we have. The finish level loads a new level when the current level is completed, or finish the game if the final level is completed. Okay, so let me see. Now we're gonna be adding the ball in its motion mechanics. So first, let's go to the create function. Okay, so let's go to the create function, initialize the ball object itself, and assign a few properties to it. So we're gonna go to the create function, and let me see, so we're gonna go to the create function, and here inside of the curly braces of the create function, we're gonna have this. I'm gonna move this one maybe right here. So we're gonna have the keyword this. Okay, there's that ball, and we are gonna set it. Okay, so let's separate this one maybe like this. Okay, so we have the that ball, and we are gonna set it to the keyword this that add that. Okay, so we have the this that ball, and we are setting it to the this that add that sprite. We're gonna open parentheses, and let me see, we are gonna have 1, 2, 3 parameters. Okay, and the parameter is gonna be the this that ball start. So it's gonna be the first one with uppercase letters, so the first one is gonna be capitalized. Start position, but just gonna be POS, so the first one is with uppercase letter, that X. Okay, this is gonna be the first parameter. The second parameter is gonna be, okay, it's gonna be the same, but it's gonna be Y, so it's gonna be this that ball start position that Y, like this. And make sure that you're typing it right, so this that ball start position that Y. And finally, we're gonna have in just the string ball semicolon at the end. So let me see. Okay, and now we are gonna have let me see, we're gonna have the this that ball that anchor that set, so it's gonna be this that ball that anchor that set, and we're gonna have the 0.5, and then we're gonna just have 0. So we have this that ball that anchor that set, and okay, so we're just gonna pass in 0.5 as our default value. Okay, just to have a peek, nothing is happening yet. Okay, so now we're gonna have let me see, we're still inside of the create function, and now we're gonna use the keyword this that physics, so it's gonna be this that word this that physics that enable, like this that enable this that physics that enable, and we're gonna pass in some parameters inside of the parentheses. So we're gonna have this that ball, we're gonna have in the phaser, we're gonna have in the phaser that physics that physics. Okay, so we have this that ball phaser that physics that arcade. Okay, so like that, semicolon at the end, save it for now. So this that physics that enable, then we have this that ball, we have the phaser that physics that arcade. Okay, then we are gonna have in the this, we're gonna have the this that ball that body. Okay, so it's gonna be the this that ball that body, this that ball that body that set set size, like that, set size, and we are gonna pass in the parameters 18 and also 18 semicolon at the end. Okay, this that ball that body that set size, and finally the this that ball that body this that ball that body that bounce, like that. And the parameters, okay, it's gonna be that set, and the parameters are gonna be 0.3 comma 0.3 semicolon at the end. Okay, so we have that so far, nothing is happening yet, so let's close it for now. I want to check something in the index.html file, so okay, let's leave it like that. I just want to make sure that everything is right here. Okay, so we are in the create function, and we have the this that ball. Okay, so this that ball, we are setting it to this that add that is sprite, and we're passing the this that ball starts position that x, and okay, this that ball start position that y lowercase, and then just ball. Then we have the this that ball that anchor that set. Okay, we're passing 0.5. Then we have the this that physics that enable, we're passing the this that ball, the phaser that physics that arcade. Then we have the this that ball that body that set size, and we're passing the values 18 18. And finally the this that ball that body that bounce that set, and we're passing the 0.3 0.3. Okay, that's fine, everything is fine here. Okay, so here we are adding a sprite at the given place on the screen and using the ball image from the loaded graphic asset. We're also setting the anchor for any physics calculations to the middle of the ball, enabling the arcade physics engine, which handles all the physics for the ball movement, and setting the size of the body for the collision detection. The bounce property is used to set the bounciness of the ball when it hits the obstacle. So controlling the ball, it's cool to have the ball ready to be thrown around in the play area, but it's also important to be able to actually move it. Now we will be at the ability to control the ball with the keyboard and the desktop devices, and then we will move to the implementation of the device orientation API. Let's focus on the keyboard first by adding the following to the create function. So we are gonna go into our game JavaScript file, Game.js, and we're gonna go inside of the create function. So we're gonna go to the bottom of the create function, and we're gonna add the keyword this that keys. Okay, so it's gonna be this that keys, and we are gonna set it to this that game. Okay, so we're gonna set it to this that game, that input that keyboard. Okay, so it's gonna be that keyboard, and then we're gonna use this method create cursor keys. So it's gonna be that create cursor keys. Okay, so we're gonna use camel notation on that one. So okay, create, then it's gonna be cursor, and then finally keys. Okay, so we have that. Let me see. As you can see, there is a special phaser function called the create cursor keys. So this is the one that we're using right now, create cursor keys. This is a method in the phaser framework which will give us an object with event handlers for the 4 arrow keys to play with: up, down, left, and right. Okay, so next we will add the following code to the update function, so it will be fired on every frame. The keys object will be checked against player input, so the ball can react accordingly with this predefined force. So right now we're gonna have this piece of code here, and this is gonna go inside of the update function. Let me see, it's gonna go it's gonna go right here. Let me double check. So next we will add the following code to the update function. Okay, that's fine. Let me see. So that way we can check which key is pressed at the given frame and apply the defined force to the ball, thus increase the velocity and the proper direction. Okay, so we have that. And again, just let me show you something real quick here. So you can press, and this is the cyber code, but if you go here and you click this link, this is pretty much the start of the game, and pretty much we're gonna have these four keyboards, you know, the left, right, down, and up. So this is how we're gonna pretty much give a functionality. I'm moving up and going down with the keyboards, and going left, and then I'm going right. So this is the functionality. Right now we have just an empty black so far, but we're gonna still adding more code. So let's populate the function, the update function. Okay, so inside of the curly braces we are gonna have an if statement like this. And okay, so we're gonna have the curly braces here, and we're gonna have the condition. So if this that keys that left is down, so we're gonna have if this that keys that left is down. Let me see, this that keys that left is down. Okay, if that is true, then this that ball, okay, that's that ball, that body, this that ball, that body, that velocity, that x, so that is the x coordinates. We're gonna have the minus equal sign, minus equal sign, and set it to the this that movement force. So it's gonna be the movement force, like that. Okay, so we ended up with a semicolon. So we have this that ball, that body, that velocity, that x is gonna be set to the minus equal sign. That is pretty much of the, this is similar to the, let me see, to the plus and then the equal sign. So but in this case we are, instead of adding it, so we are subtracting. So this is pretty much saying that this that ball, that body, that velocity x is gonna be assigned to the this that ball, that body, that velocity, that x minus the this that movement force. So we have that. Let's keep moving. That is that. Now we're gonna have the else. So let's go back here, and we're gonna have the else. Okay, so let me see, it's an else if. Yeah, it's gonna be an else if. Okay, so we have if, then we're gonna have else if. Okay, so in the else if, this that keys that right that is, let me see, is down. Okay, so it's down. Then we're gonna have another condition, and that condition is gonna be this dot ball dot body dot velocity dot x. Okay, it's gonna be this dot body, ball that body that velocity that x, and it's gonna be the plus sign, equal sign. Okay, so we're gonna have that, and it's gonna be set to the this that movement force, semicolon at the end. Okay, and yeah, we have the this that ball that body that velocity that x, and then the addition operator. Okay, now so we have this if else. Okay, we have this if statement, so we're gonna have a second one. Okay, so after this else if, we're gonna have an if statement here. And okay, so we're gonna have some condition first. The condition is gonna be this that keys that, it's gonna be up. Yeah, it's gonna be up that is up. Okay, so this that keys that up is up. Okay, so is down. Okay, is down, like this. What we are gonna do is, okay, so it's gonna be this that that ball. Okay, is this that ball that body that velocity that x, and oops, it has to be y. So now we're in the vertical and the y coordinates, so it's gonna be 2 minus equal sign. Okay, and we're gonna use the this that movement force, so we're gonna have that. So it's gonna be pretty much saying that this that ball that body that velocity that y is gonna be set to the same thing, that this that ball that body that velocity that y minus the this that movement force. And let me see, we are gonna have, okay, so that's it. If the condition is true, then we're gonna have that. Else if, so we're gonna have another condition. If the this that keys down is down, so if this that keys that down is down, then we are gonna have, I'm gonna just copy this one, we're gonna have something similar here. We're gonna have the this that ball that body that velocity that y, and this time is gonna be plus sign, so it's gonna be plus equal sign. Let me see, yeah, that this that ball that body that velocity that y is gonna be set to the plus equal sign, this that movement force. Okay, so we have that, we can save it for that, this code. And again, that way we can check which key is pressed at a given frame and apply the defined force to the ball, thus increase the velocity in the proper direction.